Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan and welcome to the Superhero Rewind Commentary Project. Joining me as always is my sidekick Austin.
Yo.
And tonight we're going to tackle a Marvel TV movie from 1979, which Austin put on a poll on Patreon and it miraculously won. I don't know how that happened. I mean, we had some other kind of silly, weird, obscure things on that list, but that was the last thing I expected to wind up there. And Austin didn't actually pick this
as a filler.
Yeah, he didn't really pick this to pick it. What was the real reason you put this on that list, Austin?
The two things I picked were this and Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which I thought would be funnier, and I assumed would win because there's a lot of people in the audience that are, kind of in that age bracket when that came out, and it's kind of become a meme. But no, I picked this, which it's this and what we're doing next week are the two things I've picked the most for polls, and they just never win. And I assumed this would just never win, but it finally did, and it's really just a stepping stone to get to the movie I actually want to talk about, which is the sequel.
Yeah. That's the real reason, which is on this release. Shockingly, this actually came out on DVD, I think probably a decade ago, maybe longer than that now. One of our subscribers years ago sent this to me in a box with some other stuff, and thanks to whoever that was, I think I've actually got a note from that person here, but I don't know if their name is on it. Oh, it was OK Crusader O, and I don't know if he still watches, but I've got his old typed up note. It was long enough ago that it's the top of it says "Hello, Cappy and Vince." So this was probably 11 or 12.
But it's the fact you're holding it like that too also just makes it look like you're reading an old scroll.
That's true. Well, I was trying to get it so that it wasn't washed out, but alas, you couldn't really see too much of the lettering. But yeah. This was a thing that was aired probably one time and then went to VHS in the 90s, and then they put out again on DVD in an oddly decent release. This is Shout Factory, and they always do a good job.
Yeah.
At least with the presentation of the packaging and the initial menu screen, which I was surprised is fully animated, and then there are no features whatsoever, special or otherwise. You get your pick of these two movies, Captain America or Captain America 2 Death Too Soon. This is a 79 and 80, I think, respectively. They came out one right after the other, probably like months apart. And then there are no subtitles, there are no languages, there's nothing. So when we do commentaries, I always try to look at the subtitles so that I can respond to dialogue more readily because we're talking over the movie, and I was bummed out that there aren't subtitles with this because there is some really amusing dialogue that I wanted to respond to. But never fear, Austin, because somebody years ago, probably before this even came out, judging by what the website looks like, put up a transcript of this movie, so I'm going to be able to follow along with the script.
You can read along with it.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. And if we get too bored, I might even act some of it out along with the movie. Why not?
Oh, damn.
I mean,
why not?
My analysis of this movie could fit on a postage stamp if I could even remember what I wanted to say about it. Because full disclosure, I watched this yesterday. It is already not sticking with me great. It is one of the dullest movies we'll probably ever watch on this program, in my opinion. I'll just get that out right now. Just long slog periods where nothing happens. This should have been a half an hour episode of a TV show. Like, this does not require an hour. 37 minutes.
I think if it were a TV show, this would be cut down to like 40 minutes.
Well, and I don't want to say too much about it because there's so little substance here that like I don't want to have a long preamble, and anything I say right now, I'm going to be like, crap, I should have waited because we're going to have plenty of time. But I will just say real quick, I don't actually think you're right about that. I think it would have aired, they would have stretched it to make it a 2-hour pilot.
And maybe. So it would have been, I just assumed because there's a lot of just holding on things, so I figured it was like, but we didn't get picked up, so we're just gonna hold, like, just throw every bit of footage we have and make it a movie.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of 2-hour pilots that are that way.
That's true too.
That are just stretched out to insanity, and I'm confused. And maybe somebody can shed some light on this because I couldn't find a ton of information about this movie. Because there was nothing on the disc. I am confused.
To be fair, this is the same movie where the sequel they didn't even make new art for the VHS. They just put a 2 on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty fitting.
Yeah, no, that's hilarious. Look at those side by side. It's great. I am confused as to whether this actually was made as a pilot or if it was that situation where they said, we're going to make a movie and maybe if it's real popular, we'll make a series based on it. Because what's really odd about it is, like, it watches like a pilot in the opening, not the opening credits, but the credits at the start of the movie. It's referred to as a teleplay. I guess you'd still call it that, like, as a TV movie, maybe. But everything about it is like, feels like maybe it wanted to be a pilot for a TV show. On the other hand, it's odd if it was a pilot that didn't get picked up, but they still made a sequel movie for it, which sort of suggests that it was always a TV movie. And I don't know if Doctor Strange was in that boat or if that was supposed to be a pilot and then they just didn't pick it up. Like, some of these things, it's kind of hard to tell if it's a TV movie in the first place or if it's a TV pilot. Because I called it when you and I were talking about this off camera, I called it a pilot. And then the more I thought about it, the more I went, yeah, but there's a movie the very next year. I don't actually know if it's a pilot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure.
So I'm confused about that whole thing. There are several of these things that Marvel took to TV in the late 70s, early 80s. The really successful one, of course, was Incredible Hulk, which I think was intended to be a TV show all along. And then Doctor Strange, I'm kind of confused about. That's in sort of this same boat, although not stretched ad nauseum the same way this is. That's a little more watchable. And then Spider-Man was a show, but I don't know how long that lasted. Was it only like a couple, 3 seasons, or?
I wanted to say it was only 1 season, but I could be wrong. Like, I think it's only like a handful of episodes.
I haven't seen anything from that.
Maybe like 13.
Ever. Oh, Makura says these were both 79.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Deanna versus right. I should save all this for the actual commentary. Well, anyway, I have. Good night, everybody. I don't have a whole lot left to say. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, Austin is very excited to do the sequel at some point.
Yeah. Very excited to do the sequel. It's got Christopher Lee as the villain.
That'll be a gigantic step up from Brackett.
I mean, he's a Mad Dog Killer. I love Brackett.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm a little suspicious and scared to see where this winds up on your letterboxd. But anyway, let's go ahead and watch this. Everybody, if you have a way to watch this, again, it is on disc. Maybe some of you guys that collect like I do have this. Austin, how are you watching it? Did you just find it like bootleg on some website, or are you?
I just found it bootleg on
YouTube
some website, and it won't even let me full screen.
Oh, she
it's
is
annoying. I have to like zoom in.
Yeah, so you may have to hunt around for this one. This is kind of Superman the musical situation.
Yeah, well, I assumed it would be on Internet Archive, but I feel like they've had a bit of a cleansing because there's a couple things that I know used to be on there, and I've gone back and they're not anymore. Kind of,
interesting.
People have kind of come in and kind of hacked some of the movie stuff off of it.
Do you think there's been like a legal thing with it, or?
It could be, yeah, because I mean, it's just on there for free.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, everybody get to timestamp 0, however you want to watch it, and if you can find a way to watch this with us, I would encourage you to do that. We're gonna do our level best to provide some entertainment for you as we go, but this one might be a little bit more riffy than our usual analysis, but we'll see what happens. We're gonna watch it, and that's all I can promise with this one. Look, we got to do all of them, okay? That's just what we do here. So, Austin, thanks for getting this one knocked out relatively early, I guess. It's our landmark 60th show. It's Captain America. It's Red Brown's Captain America. So
I have to say,
get excited about
your
it.
DVD cover is a complete lie because it has his shield with white on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Incorrect.
Yeah, and he's in the more like traditional comic inspired suit, which he doesn't wear through the first one. So I guess this is more.
But then
based
he'll
on the
wear it
second
too.
one,
So I guess.
So
it is technically in both, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, technically, we'll talk about that. we'll talk about that. All right, everybody, please press play right now. So I may have had a record with this, Austin. I put this on yesterday afternoon and fell asleep within the first 10 minutes.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's fast, yeah.
I had to take a power nap to get through this. I was like, okay, if I'm that out of it, I'm going to sleep 15 minutes and then come back and finish this.
I don't know how you could be bored when we literally open with the opening of The Shining, one of the greatest movies ever made.
That's great. A couple things I want to point out right at the start. I'll do these in reverse order. First of all, I was immediately distracted by what seems to be a camera cord that comes into frame.
I wasn't sure if it was that or because it would be a helicopter shot, right? Like if it maybe caught a bit of the door. I wasn't sure what that was.
Yeah, or it could have caught some of the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Whatever you call the landing gear on a helicopter.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I wasn't really sure where the camera would be on the helicopter.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's me. Now,
but no, it catches something there.
To be fair to this piece, it's like a $120,000 budget, and boy, does it look it.
Yeah. No, and I think there's some charm to it.
Captain America and his battle van.
Yeah, exactly. His little hippie Humvee.
Yay, special appearance by Steve Forrest. Whoever that is.
I mean, don't look at Steve Forrest through the trees, Cap.
I have a big problem with that. Usually you see a name in a special appearance, and you're like, wow, that guy's going to show up for a second as a cameo, and you're like, Steve Forrest!
Yeah, at least two is Christopher Lee. Who the hell is Steve Forrest?
Steve Forrest? Well, let's look this up.
He's certainly dead by now. This all
he died he died in 13, but he lived a long time.
Daniver says that he was the star of SWAT. That's
okay. Cool. Okay, so he was a TV guy.
And this was probably more of a grab at the time.
Oh, he was in the film Mommy Dearest, which absolutely horrified me as a child, and I still have nightmares about. I'll never see that again.
That does sound like what they talk about in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where it's Al Pacino's like, you start off, you're like the hero of the show, and then you lose your show, and then the only work you can get is you become the heavies on different shows. You get beat up by like Batman and Robin or the Green Hornet. That's this guy who was SWAT. Now he's getting
Well,
beat up by. I assume he's bracket. I don't know. I could be wrong.
let me just say, I don't mean to be unfair and not look at things in historical context.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize that was actually kind of a big TV name at the time, so I'll rescind that. That's totally fair, but not a name I recognized right away. I've heard of SWAT. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
So that's totally fair, but already I was getting real like B-movie vibes from this. And there's a lot of B-movies that will do stuff like that. There'll be a special appearance or starring, and you'll be like, I've never heard of that person. And then you'll look up their credits, and everything they're in is of the same caliber as the thing you're watching. The other point I wanted to make about the first like 20 seconds of this is the logo for the Captain America logo trademark is right out of the comic book, and like is what it looks like in the comics, and is the most like right off the page inspired comic book thing in the film.
And then his suit at the end, it's
Sure.
right out of the comics.
Sure.
With a motorcycle helmet, but
Yeah.
it's also what we get in the MCU, basically.
I could have I could have given them a little bit more credit for that if they'd had that from the beginning, and there's no reason they shouldn't have. And we'll talk about that. But I don't know why there's a kind of a midway suit where it's like, I don't want to get too far ahead of us, but like he somehow knows what his dad's suit looks like. I don't understand that. Or maybe the idea is he doesn't, and he makes a suit that looks remarkably similar to it, and then later finds out what his dad's suit looked like. And it's like, I'm gonna make that now. It's really weird. It's like he's got a red, white, and blue. I mean, like, it's patriotic, so maybe it would be that, but like, I don't get the sense that he's looked at his father's costume before that, like when he actually makes his own suit.
I mean, I feel like he probably does, because I don't think he's surprised that his dad was, a hero back in the day. And I want to wear the suit that my dad wore. It's like, I feel like he probably does.
We needed a scene where it's shown to him or something, because they play it like Captain America was not a public figure. Like he fought crime in the shadows or something. Because when he's first told about it, he seems like real shocked by that. He's like, "Oh, my dad was some kind of crime fighter," and like he didn't even go by a name. It was just a pejorative that like bad guys would call him because he was too patriotic. And so I don't know. Maybe this agency showed it to him at some point. But I think it's also really funny that they both end up with these like real bright colored costumes that they're trying to do stealth missions in.
This is also like a crazy assassination plan where they're just gonna throw oil onto the road 10 miles. It's weirdly kind of elaborate.
That's true.
They're also following him. They just shoot him right here. Like they had to set up all these construction people. Like they had to pay people to like do things.
Yeah, this has that classic 70s TV pacing, but even slower than a lot of stuff I've seen. Where it's like, just get to it already.
Daniverse, I have seen Your Hunter from the Future. I own it on Blu-ray. That's a wonderful movie.
I've never heard of
Reb
that.
Brown is also the star of that.
Is he actually good in it, or?
It's a B movie.
Okay.
That's kind of the stuff that he's in his B movies, but he's in quite a few good ones. Like, I love Your Hunter from the Future. I love Howling.
Sorry, Austin, you're cutting
And
in
then
and
he
out
does-
on me a little bit.
Oh, is it still cutting out, or is it fine now?
You're good right now, but like your video has
Okay.
been laggy and.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Well, if it keeps happening, just I can jump out and see if that fixes it.
Okay. But yeah, he said Howling 2, everybody.
Yeah. No, and he does a lot of like Z-grade foreign film knockoffs of Stallone and Schwarzenegger movies. But this is like before he becomes what he will be, so we don't know how to use him as an actor yet.
No, not at all. And he just does not give a very convincing performance. I will say he's endearing in that he looks like he's trying and he kind of wants to be there, but he also looks lost. And like he doesn't really know how to be in front of a camera. So like his dialogue sounds
like an athlete before he was an actor.
He looks like they just went and found some football player and made him Captain America.
Yeah, I mean he looks like Captain America.
See, I disagree. I think his build is all wrong. Like he's too.
Oh, okay.
He's too stocky. He's muscular, but it's the wrong. It's athletic, but it's the wrong kind of athletic build to me.
Oh, okay.
And it also has that amusing thing, and I don't know what you would do with this on a TV budget, Austin, but like he's massively jacked before he gets something akin to the super soldier serum, and then he gets that, and he looks exactly the same. And then he's just gonna kind of have super strength now, which we're going to demonstrate by having him throw meat and very easily, unconvincingly crushing things that were clearly made to be crushed.
I'll wait till you get to stuff in 2 where you get him like running after, and it's just him and like super, like sped up, but he's on a crowded beach, so like everybody's sped up.
Oh, that's awesome. There's some of that
Wonderful.
here. You did get you do get some sped up footage toward the end.
Yeah,
which is kind of funny. Ever since I watched this yesterday afternoon, I have had the A-Team theme stuck in my head.
That makes sense with this van.
Just because of this
van.
All day long I've been walking around. Dun, 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 dun. So, Austin, break down for us, because it won't take very long, what is actually derived from the source material with this movie, with Captain America's characterization and any other trappings from the comics, where we actually are looking at that material.
Basically nothing.
That's not fair.
Although I do have to say, though, right here when he gets out of the van after this fall, all I could think of was he looks like the Lou Ferrigno Hulk to like George Michael's David Banner in the 70s Hulk. And that made me laugh way too hard.
That's really funny. No, I was thinking Lou Ferrigno a little bit. And I was also I also found myself comparing him to other actors that seemed miscast in things just because of their musculature, like a Dolph Lundgren. And the difference with somebody like Lundgren, as Punisher or as He-Man, is this guy is actually American. And which in some ways makes it a little worse, actually. Because it's like he's acting as unconvincing. It's kind of Power Ranger level acting or worse, and you don't even have the excuse of he's just speaking phonetically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I also do not understand why he gets into a big car crash and then is like, I'm gonna go to this laboratory.
Okay, so this guy cracks me the hell up, and
his Lego hair.
Well, just his voice more than anything.
Yeah,
I love how performative he is. Like he sounds like he should be a radio announcer or something. He walks in, I'm Simon Mills. It's really funny. Also, it might have been a more believable performance if we had gotten the on-air audio, but it's all dubbed. This entire scene is ADR, and you can tell. So when he walks in, he's like, he like when he's dubbing over his footage, he's too close to the microphone. He's like, "I'm Simon Mills." I'm like, back up a little bit.
Well, it made me laugh the most. I think it's in this scene. There's like a woman that comes in behind them and is like far off in the distance, and it also is right in the mic. But no, this guy has all of the best lines. Just
Yes,
like you said, and
he
how he delivers things. Like even the be Captain America.
Well, and he's hilariously manipulative and kind of gets away with it. Where like he just wants Steve to take the serum because he's the only person whose blood is compatible. Which, by the way, that part of it is not horrible. Like that's like if you're not gonna. It at least makes sense, right? Like, everything about the super soldier serum is solid enough, or what they're calling the flag serum. Get it? Because it's patriotic. Is like...
Well, that's also one of his best lines, is he developed the flag. That's right. FLAG.
He synthesized it from his own adrenal gland. Developed a super hormone. That's right, FLAG.
But no, with what you're saying, like there is the structure here that I think would make sense. He's too whiny, and you could fix that, I think. But like I don't think there's anything essentially wrong about his arc of like I was a Marine and now I'm here. Like I just kind of want to cruise the
you should let
country.
Me,
like, I don't
should
want
be
to
allowed
be
to retire
anymore.
now. I did my bit for king and country, and now I just want to see the world. I just want to travel, and I want to do my art, and I want to make a living doing that. And and that's fair. It's just that it takes him way too long to finally answer the call of the hero. And so that makes him feel like, less sympathetic to the audience because he's going to do that at some point. And so having to it gets kind of preposterous that like he's in the costume and he's still going, I don't really know if I want to do this. And like you need him to commit sometime before that. And you also could have gotten, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but you could have gotten some better drama, I think, out of the way he's being kind of like coaxed or coerced or forced by Simon, where he comes in and is like, I want you to this is what I was going to say earlier. I want you to take the serum. No, I'm not interested in doing that. I want to travel. And then he gets in an accident, which, to be fair, at least Simon didn't make the accident happen, because they could have gone that way with it. And so he's at least not like an evil master manipulator, but he is an opportunist, and he sees the opportunity to give him the super soldier serum, and he claims it's the only way he could have saved his life. That's probably true, but he also has a vested interest in Steve like becoming Captain America, so I find myself feeling a little suspicious about it. Where it's like you probably jumped the gun a little bit. Like you do have your own interest with that, and then he keeps pushing him after that, and is like he has kind of the your only hope sort of speech, and Steve never really pushes back on him much on like after this scene on how pushy this guy is. And how, like, I don't want him to be more whiny, but he actually would have had in an argument and an understandable reason to be like, hey, you maybe kind of like didn't set this up, but like you're kind of taking advantage of me a little bit, and we could have gotten some drama from that.
You're morally dubious, yeah.
And I don't know if the movie knows that he's morally dubious.
There are bones here that could work for a good movie. It's just not executed very well.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And if it was, and some of it also is just visual execution and pacing, and there's just not any sense of drive and excitement and thrill. And you think about everything that's going on paper. You've got a super soldier program, you have a villain that's developing a neutron bomb, you've got a hero that rides a motorcycle out of the back of a big truck, which this is playing like that's way more futuristic and amazing technology than it even would have been in 1979. But you could have gussied that up more and made that even more like fun and thrilling and exciting. And it's just like on paper, there's no reason that this has to be so flat and wooden all the way through.
Mm-hmm. It does have a cool bit where he drives over a ramp and then grabs onto a helicopter. That was kind of cool.
That was cool. I have questions when we get into that scene. I'll have to ask you about
I think
that.
I have answers because you asked me about it before I got to that part, so
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. So,
and I only watched this once. Again, like I'm fully admitting that if I watched this a second time, there's a couple things I'm not sure about that I probably would be, and I might I don't know if I'd be less down on it because it is still kind of dull. No, look, no amount of funk music can save this movie. Okay, I do like the funk music though. Teddy, $10 super chat. Thanks a lot for the support, man. He says, "I'm never going to show my kids the actual first Captain America MCU films. I'm going to tell them it's this, and then go straight to Avengers. Say that he really changed between those eras."
but you also can't deride him of Death Too Soon. Like, you need to show your child Death Too Soon.
That's true.
There's also a shot in Winter Soldier that I'm like half convinced is maybe an homage to Death Too Soon, but I don't know. It probably isn't.
Well, and I'll bring up later the ways in which this movie weirdly influenced the comics, and it's odd that they looked at this at all. But I want to go back to the question I asked you earlier that you kind of dodged for comedy, Austin, which is
because I wanted to make that joke about that bit, and I never got back to your question.
But but I do want to talk about it. So it's true that this, and I'm bringing this up now because it goes along with what you said about how there's potential in the premise with this. Like there's in a skeleton of a plot and a character arc that one of us could probably sit down and make a cool script out of this, out of just the bare bones cookie cutter plot that you've got here. But to that point, if this was a more fun and engaging piece, it would be in that category, right, of movies that aren't really what you want as a fan of the material if you're a Captain America fan, but if you can look at it on its own terms, like you might kind of like and appreciate anyway. So you do have to ask the question, why didn't they take something as classic and well-known at this point as Captain America and play it more off the page? Or at least have more of the initial elements of the thing. Like, is it just because I think there's kind of two possible theories, or maybe it's both of them. One is it's just budgetary restraints. They're worried that they can't show period stuff, and they don't want to go to World War II, so they don't even think to just have a Captain America that comes out of the ice and you don't even show the flashbacks. They just go, that all sounds expensive, so we're going to make up something completely different that's like sort of adjacent to it in certain ways. And I want to talk about that. The only other reason I can think that you would do it this way is, and I suspect this is more the reason, is we're trying to take the initial very basic concept and name of something and force it into a different mode. So it's like, because Incredible Hulk did that, famously the guy that made Incredible Hulk didn't like comics and didn't want a fun over the top comic booky thing. He wanted it to be like real serious and grounded. The thing you hear from everybody now whenever anybody makes any superhero media. So with this, are we trying to make like a primetime espionage thriller out of Captain America?
So I think it's two things. So what you just said with Hulk, because as I've said before, like 66 Batman is like the only one that's just like, here's like the comic stuff. Like here,
Yeah.
like he's gonna go fight Batman villains and interact with Batman characters. Everything else is just take the hero out and just put them into a show.
Yeah, and you're
like
lucky.
have nothing else.
You're lucky if they have the same name.
Yeah,
and that's
it. So we do that a lot.
Spider-Man had Peter Parker, and that was all it had.
shows.
Like it didn't have. Maybe it had a Jameson. I can't remember, but like that didn't have any of his villains. It was all just like mob bosses and stuff.
Yeah, and I was like you said, Hulk doesn't have any of the villains. I don't think Wonder Woman has any of the villains. Like, there's what we did. But I think the other one is also where we have at least 15 years now of Marvel Captain America, not like the original World War II Captain America. And I can kind of see where they're coming from in making and just adapting that. And then you go, okay, but you have the weird baggage of like being connected to the World War II stuff. So like, just cut it. And we're adapting this stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah. I think that's probably true. What's awkward about it is you had kind of an out maybe with the legacy thing. It's kind of weird to make Captain America a lineage hero, of course, but that's what this does, where they say it's also one of the things that can really undercut your hero if you're not careful, where absolutely nothing he does is his idea. He doesn't come up with a name, he doesn't come up with a costume, he doesn't like make the thing that gives him his powers. And always Captain America never does that, but I'm just saying generically speaking, with superhero things, especially when it's a character that you're familiar with, it can be really lame and undercutting for your character if somebody else had to do all of his stuff before he did. And we do have that thing with this. If it, like, the only thing that makes this guy special is his blood, and he's got some skills. At least he's a Marine. Yeah, and at least he has some hobby stuff, some interests, and like he's a good artist. And that we not only brought to the comics, but there's even a nod to it in Captain America: First Avenger, when he's drawing the monkey on the bicycle. So like that's become kind of a staple with Steve Rogers, is that he's an artist, and I don't know if this came up with that. I do know that there's an issue well past this where he becomes a professional artist, but I don't know if he was drawing in comics before that.
Yeah, and I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say that's like a big part of the Englehart run, maybe, which I guess probably would have been the '80s. And
yeah,
I think I think he went to that quite a bit. I like the idea that Captain America's an artist. I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I like that too. But anyway, my point is, you had kind of an out maybe with the World War II thing, where you could sort of nod to it by saying, okay, we're not doing the ice thing, so this Steve Rogers isn't the original Captain America. His father was, and he fought as Captain America in World War II. But that's not what this does. It's really strange that they made that choice. They could have. Hey, and as far as I can tell, his dad wasn't even in the military. Maybe he was.
No, it makes it more of like a Crusader thing, which I'm sure probably is in some of the World War II comics, because that's obviously where early Marvel is. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if some of that's not in there. But like, you go back to early Marvel and he's like a street level hero, just living in like an apartment. So like, it feels like they're kind of just taking that and applying that to his dad.
Does that seem like an odd choice? Like, it would at least feel like you had a little bit of reverence for the material if you threw the fans a bone and said, well, his dad was in World War II.
The only real connection to that, and it's not even World War II, is just he has a military background, like you said. Mm-hmm. And just because of how he acts, like, it doesn't feel like he's a Marine, because he's so just like, no, I'm just going about my day.
He looks like he spends 8 hours a day playing beach volleyball.
Yeah.
Like, that's this Steve Rogers.
Or like frisbee golf. Like, he looks like he's way too into frisbee golf. Yeah. Especially with how like all the polos he wears.
Yeah, his general demeanor And I guess this kind of goes along with his I just want to travel. I'm trying to like have a relaxed retirement from the military. But this actor, like Red Brown, his general demeanor. Sorry, it's just surreal to me that we're finally talking about this movie. His general demeanor seems to be like go with the flow, like surfer dude. And he's struggling to play jaded or tragic. Where, like, you can tell he's working really hard to look, like, sad or upset or dejected. He cannot pull off dejected to save his life.
No, he's got
and it just comes off
aloof.
Like it just comes off mopey. But, like, forced mopey, like, trying to look mopey. So, like, every scene, I want to do my, like, acting thing. Like, every scene is acting.
It looks like the entire movie, in his head, he's like, wait a minute. Is flag spelled F-L-A-G? I don't know. And he's just, like, forever thinking about it. Like, it's always buffering.
Yeah, do you think he looks like a... Is he a meathead type? Does he seem kind of like athletic but dumb? Because I don't know if he seems straight up like an idiot so much as he ain't a deep thinker, that's for sure.
No, I think Reb Brown has, and it's funny because when you actually like hear him talk, he's got kind of this energy, but like I feel like when he's used best in movies, it's when we play into the kind of meathead thing, because I do feel like acting wise it kind of comes off that way.
Yeah,
but, like, I agree. Like, I wouldn't say he's like a stupid guy, but it's just kind of, like I said, just kind of aloof.
So I just realized who he is, who he reminds me of, Austin, and I'm going to put this on the screen for anybody that's not familiar with this, but if you watch Spawn Year especially, you'll know what I'm talking about with this. You know who this guy is? He's the white guy that Al Simmons turns into when he tries to use his powers. And
that's Red Brown. We should have put him in the Spawn movie.
It looked like a regular non-charred person. He's like, hey, wait a minute, that's not fair. I'm a black man. And then later on, we decide that was actually a real character. We make him Spawn for a bunch of issues. But anyway, I digress. Look at the musculature. Look at his arms. Look at his hair. Like, he's the white guy from Spawn. That's who he is.
You don't get it. You don't get it from this movie. But the big thing that he's best at in movies is just screaming. So like, I'm just imagining him in the Spawn movie and being like, huh. I'm not a white man. What?
Wanda!
Scream. Wanda!
So yeah, none of us realized that Reb Brown was the perfect actor choice for Jim Downing.
I support this fan cast. Cast him now. He's still around. He's still in good shape.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Dude, guys like this, like, keep that physique into their 90s.
Yeah.
A lot of them. It's absolutely wild. Go look at what Jack LaLanne looked like just before he died when he was almost 100. Like, I think maybe he even hit 100. Like, it's not some of those fitness guys. Nicholas Bodo, so this movie inspired Spawn. You know what? It's entirely plausible.
It's true, yeah.
That... more likely this one, because if Todd McFarlane saw either of these, it was the second one.
Does Spawn ever have some sort of serum that makes you old?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he hasn't seen that one yet.
So speaking of the serum, so I'll get back to the story of this movie. Was there any part of you... I don't know if you had seen this before, but was there any part of you watching this that wondered if there was going to be a twist that it was the serum that killed his father? Because I really wondered about that. It's just like, his dad died. How long ago was it? I thought it was supposed to be kind of recently.
I'm not really sure. I never really got like a sense of how long ago his dad died.
I kept trying to figure that out, and I wasn't sure.
Oh, this I think we just passed it, but this is one of my favorite lines of this entire movie, where he goes, hello, is this Steve Rogers? Yes. I'm calling about your friend. Like, beat, beat, beat. And then he goes, what? What do you know? And then he goes, don't interrupt me.
That's amazing.
It's like you weren't saying anything. You just awkwardly paused.
There's a lot of weird exchanges like that that don't follow, but are the most entertaining things in this movie.
That's wonderful, yeah.
I'll actually say if there were
Like, he's got a speed racer helmet.
Yep. If there were fewer stretches of just looking at boring landscapes and motorcycle footage and motorcycle footage and more motorcycle footage, and it was just people standing around talking, it would probably be a more enjoyable film. Because the script is like so poorly written and so poorly acted that's where the fun is. Now some of that also gets really boring.
That stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so this guy, definitely. Like the henchman guy in black is actually way more menacing than the real bad guy, and like he should have been the villain.
Mm-hmm. It's because they just forgot to bring lights this day.
No, but like the face he's making, like he's actually kind of creepy in that scene. I'm right, aren't I? That's not the actual main bad guy. That's not. I don't
think so.
What's his face?
No, Brackett.
Yeah.
These are just goons.
Some of these middle-aged actors were so nondescript to me that it was hard to tell them apart a little bit.
Well, everyone has the same '70s hair, or every guy, I should say.
Like I think
you feel like you could just click it off, like let go.
This is hyperbolic, but I think Simon and Brackett are giving too close to the same performance, and like one's supposed to be the mentor character, the other is the villain.
I could never get Simon confused with anyone else. He's a beautiful man. Oh my god.
Oh man, here's our convenient, tragic injury so that he can become Captain America.
More focused on the motorcycle.
That explosion looked like fireworks you do in your own backyard.
That looked like a mini nuke went off.
No, it didn't. They wanted that to be way more spectacular looking than it was.
It was really small, but it's still mushroom cloud. Like it was still a little nuke.
Some of the music in this movie is really distracting and unintentionally funny, and we cut to we cut to the hospital. Or this probably isn't like supposed to be a real hospital. This is probably the
flag facility.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like the government facility where they're apparently Simon is running like 19 different programs. He's got like all these other things going on. But anyway, they cut to this, and we have the EKG machine, and then we have the kind of dancey music, and you put them together, and it sounds like the Jeopardy theme.
Like, I didn't even have that.
We cut to the scene and it's like Final Jeopardy. It's like, and I'm like, I feel like I'm supposed to be answering trivia.
Yeah, it's like an orchestral version of his heart monitor. It's like, doo-doo.
Well, yes.
It's wonderful. I love it.
No, you're right. That Simon's got some eyebrows, doesn't he?
If you go into the other rooms in this facility, I'm sure Simon has possible spin-offs like, Tony, your father built this suit of tin.
That's great.
Here's this plastic costume you can wear.
Yeah, where they're like legally distinct Marvel origins, even though they have the license to Marvel origins.
Yeah. Logan, your father was born with claws, and you might be as well.
T'Challa, your father was the Black... Oh, wait a minute.
Steve Rogers, that was real. You're also Black Panther.
Yeah, the soundtrack is way too busy. And I don't know why it suddenly got kind of like Middle Eastern. It's like, what are we doing?
Like Middle Eastern General Hospital.
What is that choice? So something else I was a little surprised by, Austin, is that the villain, and this isn't even really a complaint so much as just this isn't where I thought it would go. Uh, the villain, we're told, is after another government project, and at first, which turns out to be the neutron bomb, and at first, I really thought it was just going to be the serum. Like, I figured it would be like that kind of typical superhero plot of, like, we figured out how to make you Captain America, and now this guy wants to be like a bad guy Captain America, and he's gonna try to force us to figure out how to make it work with his blood or something. And I was kind of surprised that they didn't go that way with it.
It's got kind of an X-Men twist. You think he's after the serum, like you said, but then it's a different project. It's Rogue. It's the nuke.
Yeah, that's true. What I was confused by, and I probably just missed something, is how Brackett knows about, like, the ins and outs of the flag serum, and that it works with his blood, because he's like, oh, we gotta hurry up and take him out in case they give him the serum and make him basically a super soldier. Did you catch that? I thought that was odd. I was like, how does he know about all that? Like, I mean, I guess he knows about the neutron bomb, but is everyone involved in this like facility, this government branch or whatever? Are they all familiar with the with the ins and outs of like this one project? And that, like, you have this scientist guy that made flag, and only his son can probably use it. And, like, they keep doing experiments on these mice, and the mice keep dying. And, like, how does he know that?
We see Cap. Simon lives in like a Truman Show world where he thinks he's in like a regular laboratory, but everyone he works with works for Brackett, and he just doesn't know. No, I have no idea. The villain just knows because he's evil, I guess.
Okay. We're about to get to my favorite line in the movie. I think it's in this scene. When Simon reveals to him that he gave him the serum without his permission to save him. But again, also obviously because he really wants him to be a superhero, and they can use him in that way. And he says, for the rest of my days, I love that he says days. For the rest of my days, I won't know how long I have. And I said, isn't that everyone? What a weird line.
I think I can kind of see what they think that means.
Yes, no, I can't do, but it's, especially out of context, it's such a ridiculous thing to write on a piece of paper. Like, it's such a ridiculous thing to say. No, obviously what he means is
written on paper.
You put this thing in me that itself might kill. Like, the thing you put in to save me might kill me and could kill me at any moment. But, like, that's what he should have said. He should have been like, well, now I've got this substance in me that could just, like, knock me dead at any time because of what it did to the mice. Like, you don't know for sure that my blood's compatible, or that my blood being compatible, that it will be that way forever. But what he should do is instead of pretending like he has a crystal ball or would live forever, if not for this, the line should be more like, now I feel like I have terminal cancer.
Yeah.
That nothing can resolve.
I guess in his defense, he did drive a van off of a cliff, and all that happened was his shirt was a little ripped, and then he did drive a motorcycle off of a cliff, and he was more injured, but he was still alive.
That's a good point.
This man might be a god.
Yeah, and he knows it. So the idea is he actually knows that Simon is completely full of crap.
Yeah.
Because he would have lived just fine without the serum, and now that might kill him.
Yeah, he's already super.
Like, you didn't save me, Simon. I would have been
Look how strong he is now, though. He's like...
Yeah, have you seen these guns?
We don't even see his guns. It's just his hands squeezing.
I'm trying to decide if Red Brown is actually so like heavily built and muscular that he can't help but walk like he's got a Mack truck on his back or something, or if he
Maybe.
does that to just try to accentuate how strong he is, where it's like, do you develop that walk or do you do it by necessity?
Also, that guy's like, I'm going to shoot you unless you come with me, Reb Brown. And Reb Brown's reaction is like if you told him we're having lasagna for dinner, and he's like, I like lasagna okay, but I don't really like it that much. Like, that's his facial reaction to that. It's just like, that sucks.
And now we're just ripping off Rocky.
Yeah.
Got to go to
We
the
love beating
meatpacking
meat.
plant.
He needs a poly in this. That's what he needs.
Yeah, he needs a Bucky or something. And like he ends up with a girlfriend who it's like the most obligatory kind of romance there is. Like I keep forgetting.
Yeah, well, who wants a girlfriend when you can have Polly from Rocky?
I just keep forgetting how they even get together. It's like, yep, that's the obligatory chick that he's gonna get with.
Who will not appear in the next episode.
I bet not. That's great. I want to go back to the previous scene as I'm looking at the script, Austin, because I haven't been keeping up with this super well, and so I'm like a scene or two behind, and I'm looking at this, and I'm just like looking at this dialogue apart from the acting. It's really hilarious that somebody like actually professionally wrote this and then they filmed it. Finish the dressing, please, Susan. Yes, doctor. Simon, I'm afraid it's very bad. What about a heart pacer? It's too late. Is it that bad? Medically, he's dead now. That's wonderful. Just one chance. The flag serum.
You just call him Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, well, he is. He's Steve
I know, but
he's gonna die anyway. Don't you understand? We're committed. Oh, that was a thought I had. Is that he could have even been lying to all the nurses. He's gonna die anyway. I'm kidding. I don't think that's actually what's going on. Look at the size of that barrel.
Him riding on the hook is pretty funny.
No, it's great.
I especially love when we cut back to him and he's like clearly just standing and holding it, and then we like cut down and he's hanging from it.
Oh, the score here that passes for suspense music, is glorious.
Played on a xylophone. Yeah, this guy's gun is like a Tim Sale Joker gun.
It is. It's amazing.
This meat can't hide you forever, Mr. Rogers. Yeah, this shot is like... It's so funny.
I will say the shot through all the meat is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to do something cool here. That's where some of the sped up footage is.
The sped up footage is. Well, yeah, because you got to speed it up to make it look like he threw it hard. Because he's going to throw more pork than he throws his shield. Because he throws his shield none times.
Yeah, he Simon throws it once, just up in the air to demonstrate its deadliness, which is another of my favorite lines. This is a deadly weapon. He just throws it like a frisbee, and then it comes to Steve, and that's it.
This is one of my favorite. I'm going to call it a monologue because you don't hear the other person talking. Where he's on the phone after hanging up these goons on hooks, and he's like, yeah, I got 3 suspicious characters here. You should probably come get them. They might freeze. It's like so just calm.
Oh my god, this guy's line readings. Not bad. You've got talent. Like, he sounds like an American voice actor voicing over Japanese footage.
Steve, I think you did a great job throwing your meat at them.
I'm very impressed with the costume you've designed that we will create for you later.
I have 2 pounds of plastic. You throwing that meat has given me an idea of how to craft it.
Okay, so yeah, that's my question with this costume, Austin. Is does he come up with this totally out of whole cloth, or at some point did he see his father's costume, which is this is somewhat reminiscent of, and if regardless of whether that's the case, my second question is when you get to the end and he decides to just use his father's original costume or like that design, I don't know why he doesn't do that in the first place if he doesn't already know what it looks like. Like, what in his character arc leads him to want to be more like his father? Like, I didn't understand that.
So I think part of it is I feel like he's drawing his dad's costume from memory, so it's off, and then he also doesn't make that first costume. So, like, that's where that's off there.
No, I know, but he could have just drawn his dad's costume. I don't know why he's drawing a variant of that costume. If he knows what that looks like. The way it watches to me is he designs a completely original costume, which is weirdly too reminiscent of a thing he can't have seen.
Well, I feel like, because I don't know that his dad being Captain America was a secret. Like, I feel like he knows. Like, I don't think he knows that his dad was working on the science stuff with this guy. Or maybe not, because now he's like Captain America.
No,
okay, never mind.
Nobody has ever heard that before, and he was surprised when Simon explained his father being a vigilante. That was all clearly a secret to everyone. Okay. Nobody knows about it.
It fled my mind. For some reason, I thought he knew. Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's been really perplexing to me this whole time.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And so, if the idea is at some point, like Simon showed him his father's suit, you have to see that scene. Mm-hmm. And even if you had that, why would he design his own?
Yeah. No, and his prototype suit in this looks like he's about to be in the bobsled for the U.S. team on the Olympics.
That's exactly what it looks like, or like a wetsuit or something.
Yeah.
Sensational. It looks really similar to your father's suit that you can't ever have seen.
Sensational, Steve. I would love to keep this.
I've never seen this in anything else where you make a prototype suit for a thing that is actually the original suit from the 40s that you choose to wear instead at the end. What is he doing? I don't understand
What's
that.
What's the kid doing in the background?
What it watches like is that's the one bone at the end of the movie that we're throwing to fans of the source material. And going, look, everybody, like that's supposed to be a big reveal for anyone that actually knows this character at all. It was, look, he looks like Captain America now. Like, it's one of the most forced ways to do that, that thing I'm always complaining about, where you're basically making a prequel as your origin movie, where the character's not allowed to actually be the character until the last 5 minutes of the movie. This is the most forced version of that I've ever seen.
And if this were a TV show, I'm more fine with that. But, yeah, sure, it's awkward. Yeah.
But I don't know if I can even give it that pass, because I'm not 100% sure this is a pilot.
Yeah, no, I have no idea.
I cannot tell.
I'm just saying, if it is, like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That it's kind of a prequel for your first episode.
But not just having the original Captain America suit from the beginning does not make any sense. Just have that, the whole movie.
The water's not cold, babe.
They're falling in love because they're laughing a lot. Yeah. And it's made even better by the fact that it's ADR laughter.
Let's sit at this towel and enjoy a lovely picnic.
And then one of the most awkward line readings is when Simon walks up here in a second, and he says, "I hope I'm interrupting something."
Yeah, I love that too. I hope I'm interrupting something. Thanks, Simon. First, you inject me with the serum against my will. Now you're also C-blocking me. Thanks, dude.
Now you're breaking up all my sexual encounters. How dare you?
Exactly. Can't you just cut the sexual tension with a knife? Look at that kiss. You're gonna step in on that, Simon?
Simon's looking. We have. I hope I'm interrupting. You know what? Something ADR with him also reminds me of. It's like James Bond ADRing, where you're not letting an actor have their dialogue, and somebody else has to come in and ADR over them. Like, it sounds like that.
Simon's also unhinged. He's wearing dress shoes on a sandy beach.
He's reminding me in the face, the more I'm looking at him, a little bit of the professor from Gilligan's Island.
I've never watched that.
Who I've always said, by the way, would have made the perfect Reed Richards back then. If you'd made an FF movie in the 60s or the 70s, that's the guy to play him.
This guy should have done 70s Reed Richards.
Absolutely. Well, his eyebrows are a little thick.
Thing, look at me stretch. I can stretch far.
He walks in on Reed and Sue making out. I hope I'm interrupting something.
Dr. Doom is no mad dog killer. He is after something.
He is after something. But I was going to say, you've got a deadly combination with these two kind of non-actors. We've got what seems like a football player / model, and with her clearly a model and not an actress. Like, there's no way she wasn't in, like, Hairspray ads.
But as an extra, not the not the person that speaks.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen ads in magazines from this period with, like, exactly that look, especially with her hair.
You got Hairspray ads in magazines with her, and then Reb Brown is doing like Nintendo ads and Nintendo Power where the NES is in ice, and he's like, "Whoa!" That's what he's doing.
Do you think the way we get the Captain America name is really lame with this? It's like, he was too patriotic, so he was made fun of, and people would call him Captain America. And he took that pejorative and he made something positive out of it.
It's 100% cheesy, but I feel like that's kind of cheesy in like a charming kind of way, where it's like, they called him Captain America. Be Captain America, Steve. I don't know. I kind of like it here. I probably wouldn't like it anywhere else.
I think I'd like it better if he had been a public hero. Like, if he'd taken that name and it was just, that's an origin for the name, but like he actually used it. Like, the fact that it was always just a nickname, and he was like, I'm not going to let these bullies get under my skin.
Yeah.
And it whistles Dixie.
That is a great line, too.
This guy, more and more, I didn't have this thought yesterday. I'm thinking, this guy could have been the model for Professor Utonium and Powerpuff Girls, where he just says all of these, like, really out of place.
Look at this plastic I made you. It's bulletproof.
Yeah, it's this deadly weapon. He throws it in the sky. This is the only time it's going to be thrown in the entire movie. And I guess it's a boomerang, because it just comes back and Steve catches it?
Yeah, it's Captain America's shield.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Steve,
off.
I crafted you a deadly discus. Use it.
That's great. But Austin, Captain America's shield, yes, comes back to him a lot, but when it ricochets off of stuff, not just throwing it in the air.
Sometimes.
Do we ever do that? Where we use it like a boomerang?
That's what happens in Civil War when Spider-Man's like, that thing does not obey the laws of physics. Like, sometimes we do that, yeah. We cheat with Cap Shield sometimes.
So, speaking of cheesy things that are kind of charming for a thing like this in this period, I don't actually hate this main Captain America theme for a 1979 TV movie. It feels out of place in this movie because
it's kind of cool too.
Because nothing, it seems. Well, real quick, let me finish this point. It's nothing exciting is happening on the screen, so it seems too bombastic for what we're getting. But if this was an actual Captain America movie, I kind of like what it sounds like.
To be fair, though, he's like stumbling real hard while driving this motorcycle. This is kind of scary watching this. I'm like, this man's he's almost fallen like 6 times in the shot.
I didn't notice that before. You're absolutely right.
He's really like,
yeah, and look how much of a drop there is. Like, he's pretty close to the edge.
Yeah. He's kind of all over the place. Like,
listen to this.
This is kind of dangerous.
Listen to this rockin' guitar solo, Austin.
Yeah, he's rocking. Yeah. But also probably because he's riding on a beach. It's like sliding all over the place.
Okay, so one question I had about this scene is, were these ramps just there, or did Simon put them there?
I think Simon put them there because he's like, come here and test out your motorcycle.
Because it'd be weird if there was just ramps there. I also want to know why you wouldn't.
Also, I love that the shield is like flopping really hard because it's just plastic.
So I don't like the look of this motorcycle for a superhero motorcycle because it just looks like a stunt cycle. Like, it just looks like something that Evel Knievel would use or something. Like, it doesn't actually look like superhero hardware. Maybe it's a little better.
This feels to me like one of those toys that you never actually see in the material, but is like, it's Captain America's motorcycle, and it's like, this is the toy. Like, it's got that feel to me.
So let me ask you this: that's totally fair. If it has a silent button,
why would you ever not drive it silently? I don't know.
Yeah, why wouldn't you always have that on? And you could,
because it's super loud once he turns it off.
Yeah, and you could explain it. You could say, well, it uses up more fuel, or it's only like the technology's not good enough where you can use it for more than like 5 or 10 minutes. It takes up too much power. But we don't get anything. There's just a button that does it. And then when he goes silent, I mean, it's still not silent. Like,
yeah,
it's quieter.
So this helicopter shows up, and this man is shooting at him from the helicopter.
Explain this to me. I do not understand what's happening here.
He's shooting at him with a shotgun when you would shoot a rifle out of a helicopter, not a shotgun, because a shotgun just goes...
That's a good point. But explain this to me. Is this part of the test, or are these bad guys?
No, these are bad guys, because then we cut to Simon, and he's like, something's going on. Like, this isn't right. And then he drives off with some military police.
But then when Simon shows up, when Captain America gets in the helicopter, he just has such a different demeanor about him. It played almost, just on a first viewing, it played almost like maybe all of this was supposed to be part of the test.
Mm-hmm. No, I think this is just an attack.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're right. He is real surprised by it. But his reaction by the end of it is really odd. Like, watch for it. It's not what you would expect.
Wait a minute. Helicopters are no mad dog killers. We should go investigate this.
Like, Steve just... I guess my point is, Steve just threw a man out of a helicopter and was attacked and was shot at over and over and over again, and all Simon is talking about when he shows up is how well the test went. And, like, your line is, are you okay? Like, that's what made me wonder if it was part of the test.
Nice, like, wow, you did great, better than I expected. Even though he just lets the motorcycle fly off a ramp, and it's probably damaged.
Well, and because I guess we've got kind of a jack of all trades thing going on with this Steve Rogers, where he was also like he's a motorcycle guy, and maybe he was like a stunt cyclist. I don't remember if that was in there, but there's a lot of talk about him like riding motorcycles a lot. So it makes the motorcycle feel more like Captain America's big signature thing, even over the shield. Like the shield is obligatory, but in our very short list at the beginning of things that are actually inspired by source material, I mean, at least there is a shield.
Yeah. No, it's very much leaning into the motorcycle thing, and that's going to be a big part of the second one as well. He will at least throw the shield in, too.
Does it ricochet off of stuff?
I don't know, but you do have an amazing part where a guy is holding a gun at him, and he throws the shield not at the man, and then it slowly boomerangs into his back, and it just kind of clunks off him because it's plastic, and the guy's like, oh, falls over, and it's beautiful.
See, look at this.
But I don't think it can ricochet.
There's no discussion about how insane it was that he was being shot at.
I dreamed that you would be attacked by a helicopter, Steve, and it's come true. This is wonderful.
It's just discovering what that really means. Okay, this is just a typical, like, TV or movie trope, but can we get away from the helicopter before we have a lengthy conversation where we're having to yell over propeller blades?
Simon, why did that man try to shoot me from a helicopter with a shotgun? It seems kind of stupid.
That's not important right now. What's important right now...
What's important is I dreamed of this.
Is that you have a deadly weapon. The deadly
your deadly discus
weapon. But yeah, they're playing it like that motorcycle and that shield are way more advanced than they are even for 1979.
I will never understand why the shield is not painted white.
No, I don't understand that either.
Because it makes it look so much cheaper.
Another of my favorite lines is toward the end when he, when he goes, can you... I think this happens. I think it's this movie. It's like, can you fly that helicopter? That's not the sort of thing that you forget.
Can you fly, Bobby?
He's the bad guy. Don't trust him.
What do you mean? He's not a mad dog.
All he wants is to... And by the way, this is real exciting villain stuff where, like, the MacGuffin he's after is what Steve said to a man, or what a man said to Steve before he died. Like, for 45, 50 minutes, we have to watch this guy going all over the place, like, what did he whisper? What did he whisper?
Oh, I was going to say this because, like I said, I was watching that last scene thinking of your criticism in mind to, like, keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
And Makira just said the thing that I thought of in the moment and forgot to bring up, which is, this is the third time he's been attacked on the road in the last week. So, therefore, it's not a big deal.
Okay, that is an excellent point.
Just used to it. If anything, he should be happy they've upgraded to helicopters instead of driving him off the road.
So yeah, the film is going to be hidden in the fly rod, and I'm just imagining Batman from '89 like going up to this fishing rod. There's something else you have that I want. Damn, he took the film!
That fishing rod looks sturdier than Captain America's shield.
He should just carry around a fishing rod.
Yeah.
I
made you a fishing rod, Steve. It's bulletproof.
She's not noticing the menacing villain music.
That was a great
Can we get
facial.
can we get another
acting
take
choice.
of that, please? It's a woman.
No, Cap, that little roll of tape that he had is literally all the film they have left to film this. They can't get another take.
Oh no. That's how little money they have?
Yeah.
That's what $100,000 projects were like in 1979. Is if you had film as a prop in a scene, that was film you were using, by God. That's fantastic. I will say, like, trying to give this whatever I can give it, besides that line, she was a little better in that scene, I think.
We only have 2 women in this movie, and now they're both taken hostage.
My camera's been knocked out here for some reason. I gotta try to fix that.
Oh. Weird.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, keep us going here, Austin.
Well, I'm having a great time. And now Simon is talking a bracket. It's very threatening. They put like a machine gun noise in the score there for a second. Did you hear that?
It came from the helicopter.
It's like. What are we doing?
I wish Brackett was revealed to be Red Skull at the end.
Well, no, it would be like, I need that serum because you see, my father, they called him Red Skull because he was a communist. I will be Red Skull now.
They made fun of my father. They called him Red Skull because he was a skeleton man and his skull was red. And he said, I'm not going to be bullied like that. I shall call myself Red Skull.
Yeah, even though my skull is not red.
See, we know that he's the menacing evil villain because he holds his hands like this.
Yeah. He wears a suit. He doesn't walk on sand and dress shoes.
See, we're also shocked because this does not look like a man that would use a neutron bomb on a small town.
No, he's no Mad Dog killer.
You're so hung up on that line.
I love that line. It's so funny.
It's really funny.
It's so out of pocket. Like,
can we get another line reading? The line is tomber, not timber. Timbers with trees.
yeah.
It's like
Well, Steve Forrest in this movie, Cap. He was a special appearance.
His timber.
Yeah.
It's not what you're looking for.
Like timber, he will fall, Steve. Be Captain America and cut his tree.
No, he's talking about like vocal cadence and stuff, and he goes timber.
Yeah, he's talking about his vocal timbre.
It also explains how come an oil truck. Like, can we rewrite that line? That's
I thought it
real
was weird
crappy
that you
grammar.
somehow crashed after somebody spilt oil down the exact road you were going down. And then also tried to assassinate you more directly a minute later, and then another day later tried to assassinate you again. Maybe that was part of his plan, was this oil slick.
So, do you think the reason that Steve, considering that he was so resistant to become a superhero through the entire movie, finally decides to do that at the end, is because A, he saved the world from a neutron bomb, or B, because he just really likes riding that motorcycle. Like once he finally puts on the whole costume, he's like, oh no, this is great! Like, is that what it is?
Yeah. Definitely. He's like, I rode a motorcycle and then jumped off it onto a moving helicopter. That's so cool, dude.
Let me reiterate something I said earlier and try to be slightly more articulate. Now I'm talking like this movie. Timber. be slightly more articulate than I was earlier on this point, and say, Steve, like, resisting wanting to be a superhero is not a problem, and doing it for even as long as he does might not be a problem. It just reads a little unsympathetic because he's so whiny, is because the story is stretched so long that, like, if this movie was actually, this story was the length it should be, that would have happened at the half-hour mark. So, like, some of it is the movie is just stretched too long. But again, if he had that drama with Simon, and there was a lot of friction between them, where part of the reason he's resisting is because he feels like he's being coerced by a government agent, well, then I think we'd be a lot more okay with him not wanting to be the hero until the end. But the movie is playing it like these government people making him a superhero makes him an actual superhero. Like, I don't think we're supposed to really question them much at all. Mm-hmm. Like, they're playing this too above board. And so if Simon was a little bit sketchier, and I think he is, but if the movie knew it, if he was played sketchier, and then Captain America's like, well, I want to do the right thing, but I don't want to like just be the pawn in a government scheme, then I'm fine with him not saying I want to be the superhero until the third act. And not because now he has a responsibility to do it. Like, he has the power now, and so he's going to have to put his personal life on hold.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with all that. Like I said, you can tweak things in this movie to make, I think, a good movie. It's just, part of it is also just, how, not just whiny, but how just kind of blank he is through so much of it.
He's not carrying the movie. He feels like he's pulled along.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I thought of...
I think it's just kind of aloof.
Yeah, aloof is the right word, isn't it? I mean, part of the reason I thought of the white guy in Spawn is because some of his demeanor was reminding me a little bit of Spawn, just in... Or not even demeanor, but like just the way he's handling situations, just kind of sitting around and waiting for things to happen to him. It's very Spawn-like.
The motorcycle out of the back of the van is pretty cool.
It is, and I like the speed that shot at.
Yeah,
But dude, we are an hour and 15 minutes into an hour and 37-minute movie. This needed to happen a long time ago.
Oh yeah. I love how you can see the seam on the back of the suit.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
He's wearing basically like a morph suit.
Oh, something else that's really goofy is Simon tells him that he'll even be able to use this suit to conceal his identity. And I'm like, but the bad guy knows that he is the only person compatible with the super soldier serum. He's gonna know it's Steve Rogers.
No, Cap. It also in no way covers his face.
Yeah, I know, well, that was gonna be my second point. It's not a disguise. It's a disguise from the bag. And again, this is too espionage-y for it to make sense that he's wearing, like, such a bright-colored costume. I mean, you could say, of course, that, like, you already have that with Captain America to some degree, that, like, even in war, you probably don't want to be so flashy and stand out and stuff. There's something about doing more of a spy-ish thing with it that makes it sillier to me.
I don't know. We go to spy stuff with Captain America a lot. It, like, especially, those... once he's brought back with Marvel, and we're in the Cold War.
It's still
and then obviously
live
that's
action.
where they go to,
like,
with Winter Soldier.
I'm more fine with it in comics than I am in live action. It's always hard to describe why, but I always feel like that. Like, this just looks sillier. When we get into Winter Soldier, we mute his costume real hard when we start doing spy thriller stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. So with this, like, I think it's just got a charm to it. Like, it's silly, but it's comic silly. I also, at the same time, don't think we've ever really landed on a good Captain America costume in live action. We've always really struggled with that. It's maybe better in Endgame, but
He thinks
overall,
that's a lot funnier than I do. It's like, oh, look, they're sliding.
Yeah, they're slipping and sliding. It's great. Because Cap, they made him slip and slide in his van in oil. Now he's like, take that, you assholes. Even though these men weren't the ones that did it.
I mean, at least...
The girls, where are they? Where are the drugs going?
You're not RoboCop. Like, at least he designs his suit this way to be patriotic. Like, I'm glad that comes up. Because, like, yeah, he was a soldier, but he's not, like, an American icon, and he's not being designed to be that. So that has to come from something, or it would be way goofier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's at least sort of an explanation for the bright colors. But all I was saying, Austin, is I just think it's a little bit funny when he's, like, running around, like, trying to be stealthy around soldiers. He's got, like, this big, bright costume, and you got these soldiers that are walking around like, oh, where is he?
No,
I'm like,
it definitely is. But I don't know, it's kind of it's charming. I like that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I never mean to sound hypocritical. I like a lot of, like, corny and, like, campy stuff. But this movie's not fun enough. Like, it takes itself a little too seriously.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it, like, taking itself serious is part of what makes it funny.
I guess that's fair.
Like, doing it ironically.
But
I also definitely find this more charming and funny than you do. Like, absolutely.
Clearly. I also maybe just was not in the mood for this yesterday. I don't know. What's he gonna do?
This is also not a movie. Like, I'm enjoying this more now. Like, this is also not a movie to watch by yourself. 100%.
Not at all. One of my 4-year-olds came downstairs, Selena, and she was like, Dad, what are you watching? And I was like, Captain America. And she was like, oh, can I watch it with you? And I was like, Selena, I guarantee you will sit down, look at this for 2 minutes, and get up and leave.
I should be thrilled. She'd be like...
And she goes...
Yeah.
She goes, okay, Dad, I want to watch it. She sits next to me, and I swear to God, it was 2 minutes. She goes, can I go back upstairs and play? It's like, see, I told you.
I said it.
He said what?
He said the Mad Dog Killer line.
Oh, that's where it is. Hey, but he's no Mad Dog Killer. He's after something. And trucks pull out. There is some unfortunate dialogue that's kind of unintentional innuendo, and just the way she said it.
They had her say trucks pull out intentionally.
Yeah,
that
you
was
think
intentional.
So? It was also weird that all 3 of them had lines with the word truck in them in a row. So they were like truck, 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 truck.
Yeah, it's like, I'm looking for a good truck. Well, they have lots of trucks. Trucks pull out.
Robert Wilder sounds like Cat prefers the 90s movie. Probably. I mean, like, there's stuff about that infuriates me, but...
Yeah, and I feel like I find that movie more boring than this. But it's been so long since I've watched it.
I don't even understand that. Like, yeah, it's boring. It's not as boring as this, and it at least has some comic book stuff in it. Like, I don't like the way it... I mean, you end up with kind of an apples and oranges situation where it's like, do you want a thing that's not adapting the source material at all, or do you want something that's adapting it, but adapting it poorly?
Well, I can't get into it. His shield is red, white, and blue. We all know it's supposed to be red, transparent, and blue.
That also, like, as flawed and somewhat incompetent as that movie is, it feels like Albert Pune kind of wanted to make that, and this feels like hired project that somebody is very begrudgingly doing for a paycheck. And I did find a little bit of an interview where that guy came out and basically said that.
Oh yeah, that's not surprising. No, look,
But he was
Kev, they're
really
going to
melodramatic
Phoenix,
about it.
Like,
He was really melodramatic about it
Dark
because he
Phoenix?
goes, "Sorry, what?"
Said they're going to Phoenix, like Dark Phoenix. Like you got comic stuff.
Okay, but he very melodramatically was like, I shot none of this for myself. I shot it for a studio and a network, and I shot not one frame for myself." And I was like, calm down.
That man's writing a manifesto. Goddamn.
I don't think Dark Phoenix had happened yet, had it?
Maybe just.
Isn't that-
I want to say it's late 70s.
Isn't that 81, 82?
It might be. I don't know. Well, when does X-Men come back with Claremont? It's 70s.
I'm fuzzy on exact dates, but
No, I imagine it's after this.
just after this, October of 80 is where it starts.
Oh, okay. Well, they
Yeah.
were inspired by this. They're like,
Okay.
oh, Captain America's going to Phoenix? That's a good name.
No, I'm with you, though. It's fun to watch a thing like this that's not looking at comics at all and, like, grasping at any straws you can.
Well, yeah, and part of it, too, is I find stuff like this just really interesting in that way. Where, like, why is this what you made? I don't know.
Yeah, where, like, it's such a product of its time, and we did a lot more of this back then, where it's like, we were so distrusting of just, like, superheroes as a concept and comics as a place to adapt from, that when we did, and that's partly why so much more of it happened on TV at this
This
at
helicopter
period.
pilot's crazy. It's like...
That we would just
I think part...
use it as an
Oh, go
initial.
ahead.
I was just finishing a point. We would just
Yeah.
use it as an initial premise before we were actually like really interested in bringing stories to life.
Mhm. No, I think part of what I find funny, but like moments like this, like what we're just watching, where it doesn't read as boring to me, is we're treating this like terrible TV movie that looks awful like it's Star Trek the motion picture. We're just holding on this like it's the most epic thing ever, and it like at a certain point like flips around and becomes funny to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not having that with it. Like, it doesn't feel like it's playing it as epic. It feels like it's got a runtime it has to hit.
Mm-hmm. No, this stuff I think is supposed to be like super epic, where we're flying around in the helicopter,
Yeah,
especially inside, where like I said,
from
it's like all flipping around. It's making any sense. Oh, we just got that wire again when the helicopter shot.
You could make that case, but so you could make this case both directions, Austin. You could say, well, we've dropped the soundtrack out for tension, and so we're trying to play this as like is like really epic, and what you're seeing is so spectacular that you don't need any kind of music to make it more tense, and this makes it feel more real or whatever. But you could go the other way and be like, that's how cheap this movie is.
I think the composer killed himself before this scene, and that's why there's no more score. They're like, we're not gonna hire somebody else.
I gotta admit, I think I got up and went and got a snack during this bit and just let the movie keep playing. It was like, well, I guess we're gonna hold on this helicopter stuff for quite a while. I probably have enough time to go make a sandwich, and then I came
They
back.
paid to have a helicopter for the full day gap.
That's a good point. I paid for this crop duster for the whole day.
Yeah, you're not just gonna waste it.
Sorry, that was a Tick quote. Nobody's gonna know what that was.
Whoa! There he goes.
I guess that was kind of a cool shot, like the helicopter up into the camera.
Yeah.
Da 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 da.
Ba, ba.
You know, to your point earlier about this looking like the toy that's not actually in the movie, this whole thing feels like oddly a gimmick you would use to sell toys, even though it's not toyetic at all, where like it has a truck and you press the button and the motorcycle comes out the back of it. And like, we do it 3 times in the movie. Like, that's his big thing. He's just an action figure accessory.
No, he's the toy whose like hands are, attached to the motorcycle, so you can't pull the Captain America off of your motorcycle.
Yeah. You remember those toys where like the hands are just fists and they've got holes in the middle of them, and then you're they just go into the handlebars.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Oh, look at that. We put the camera on the wheel. We're getting fancy, Cap. This is where the money went.
Yeah, look at that. It's even kind of stable. It's not wobbling around or anything.
Unlike his shield, which is wobbling in the wind.
And then his bike explodes. And then he doesn't have a bike anymore. Like, how does he know his bike's gonna be okay?
What's got the shield on it?
Well, my favorite thing about that is, like, it just rides off and it's stable and it stays up, and it's like, that's not what would have happened.
Let's say with when he jumped onto the helicopter, he jumped off, like, mid, like, jump off a ramp. And
also,
the motorcycle flies off. Like,
when he's going across the truck shimmying like this, is it because he's trying to be stealthy or because he's trying not to fall off?
Both.
Makura, much like the motion picture, I'm glad they haven't cut out a frame of the helicopter stuff.
I just dropped off my bike, Simon. I was watching.
Wait, did he say that?
Yeah.
Well, at least they addressed it, I guess. At least, like, no, his bike will be okay. Because I think, arguably, they have made the bike a more memorable and sympathetic character than Steve Rogers himself. And I just want to make sure the bike's okay.
Well, the bike is oddly the biggest legacy in that, like I said to you off camera, these 2 movies were like part of the inspiration for making Peacemaker a show. And
that's so
a big
weird.
part of it was the image of him on this bike. And then we get the bike in Peacemaker season 2. But that was like a big part of the inspiration of doing that. So like it is kind of weirdly the legacy that this will probably have, because nobody remembers this. But like maybe you'll see an interview where he talks about that.
No, the fact that there are more than 5 people watching this movie with us right now is shocking. Or at least watching us watch this movie is shocking.
Yeah. Okay, if you're watching this with us in the chat, let us know. I want to know who's actually watching this.
Me too.
Makura definitely is, because he's mentioned things in the movie.
Yeah, and if you can, maybe this is too much to ask, do it by quoting something. Do it by quoting something we've not quoted yet.
Ah, there you go.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said, and if it's not too much, also dox yourself.
So I had a curious experience with this, Austin, where I spent the first hour and 30 minutes going, this is taking forever and there's no story here, or there's not enough story here. And then I spent the last 5 minutes going, how are we going to wrap this up so fast?
We just hit those guys with a door, and then he swung in here like a badass.
I love how Simon is so full of crap here, where he pretends like he knows anything about what a neutron bomb would look like. Oh, well, it could be a neutron bomb. How the hell would you know that?
Is it humming or whistling Dixie, Steve? Because nukes have the ability to do that.
Steve, is it whistling Dixie?
Does a mall baby whistle Dixie, Steve? I'll land there when I can.
There's a Moby whistle, Dixie.
What is it?
Dude, that's hilarious. Wait, his lips are blue. He looks like he's dying, sir. Look, if this guy is your only chance, for to not die of asphyxiation or whatever, you're screwed. Like, this is not a doctor.
There's literally a device that would be the first thing you would look at on his chest. It's like the Bane thing in Rises, where it's like his weakness is clearly this like tube mask.
Well, yeah, but that's the bomb. That's not what's killing him.
No, I know, but you would think he would look at that and be like, oh, like this is like a thing.
Yeah, it's true.
He's just standing there like, huh.
I just think it's hilarious that Steve Rogers has done this to this guy. You've basically killed this man, and now we're all going to die.
Simon's technically a bigger hero because he's going to stop this bomb and save this man.
That's true.
We love Simon.
The nonchalant way they go about this is really funny. This whole situation cracks me up.
Captain America's like a kicked puppy in the background. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, Simon, I did this.
He's like... Yeah, he's like this really pathetic, insecure man. It's like, I'm a superhero now. He gets 5 minutes of that, and then he's got to go back to, I guess I'm not that important. I better go back to...
He gets off his motorcycle for 3 seconds, and he loses all confidence.
Got another super chat from Teddy. Thanks a ton for the support, man. $20 super chat. You rock. So I made a promise to my dad when I was 3 that if 2 strange men came to me asking to watch an obscure 70s movie based on comic book superhero Captain America, I would say no. And I am keeping that promise.
Teddy, if somebody asks if you want to watch Captain America in 1979, you say yes.
We need to see if we can coerce Teddy into giving us a mailing address so that we can send him one of these.
Well, that's the form of the Destroyer. It's a giant DVD of the Red Brown Captain America movies.
Oh, wow, let's pretend like they've had any witty banter between them the entire movie. Would you stop saying that? Like, that's almost like a laugh track line. It's like, that hasn't even been a motif. That hasn't been a thing at all. He's like, has it?
Oh, they've had lots of witty dialogue together, like, jam Captain America down their throats, Steve.
Oh, I forgot about that. But how many times has he said you're a doctor? And he's like, don't call me a doctor, Steve. Like, they played that like it's been 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, Steve's love interest in this looks like she's right out of Little House on the Prairie.
She might have as much screen time as Sharon Carter, though, in the MCU, to be fair.
That's true. She just feels really out of place.
Yeah.
Oh, that line did come back. You say, well, we did jam him down a few throats, didn't we? Look at us.
That's great. Tell me, Steve, would you like to make Captain America episodic on television? Yes, but I want to wear the actual costume.
So, like, this idea that he wants to live up to his father is just not at the forefront enough through the movie for this to be a very good payoff or anything. I think it's weird we never see any pictures of him or anything. I don't need a flashback or anything, but we're pretending like he's been this, like, really important presence through the movie and that he's really inspired his son.
Yeah, no, that definitely could have been way better.
Well, now I'm starting to think Simon's going to call any Captain America costume magnificent, no matter what it looks like.
This costume does look good. It's got the pirate boots.
No, It looks actually a lot better than the other one because it doesn't just look like a boring like motorcycle smock. But what I'm saying is he called both suits magnificent. He said the same thing to both of them, and I'm like, well,
he did make
he
that
can walk out.
one.
He can walk out wearing a. That's true, but he can walk out wearing a chicken costume. He'd be like magnificent.
Magnificent.
Somebody earlier. Oh, and there's an actual drawing of Captain America.
Well, I also don't know why the credits were over that image of them together. That was a really weird image to put the credits over.
That was an odd choice. But that theme song is growing on me.
Yeah.
That would have been a good TV theme. Like if this was an actual TV show.
Yeah.
What would the stories have been for this show on a weekly basis?
I don't know. A new terrorist shows up, and Steve's like, "I'm gonna jam Captain America so hard down that man's throat."
Yeah, it'd all be domestic terrorism plots, wouldn't it? And then like every now and again, like Russians or something.
Yeah, well, because that's what the sequel does. Is it's Christopher Lee is a serum that makes you old, and he's gonna make people old.
I didn't understand what you were talking about when you said old serum.
Yeah, well, that's why it's called Death Too Soon, is because it's you will get death too soon, you're old now.
Okay, so it's like, or do they play it as almost like a reverse super soldier serum?
Probably, I can't remember, though. All I remember is that he's got like a vial, and he's like, I'm going to throw this at you, Captain America, and then you're going to become old. And then he throws it, and Cap throws his shield, and it cuts through the serum, and it like explodes in Christopher Lee's face, and it's amazing.
Great. Well, I'm excited to see that because this is boring, and it's kind of sad that we had to have a precursor to that. We don't do everything in order, but Austin felt like it'd be weird to watch that movie without this very different, odd origin.
Yeah, well, and especially because it's not like a movie that people have seen. Like, I don't know, it would have been weird if we jumped, because obviously with other stuff, it's like, well, we know all the movies really well. It would have been just kind of weird.
One point I wanted to bring up real quick before we go to ratings, Austin, and before we go to mini reviews, is Wiki had a list of 3 Captain America comics that were ostensibly inspired by this, which is or like where things in comics started that seemed to be borrowing from this, and it's odd that even happened because this was not popular and a lot of people didn't see it, and so it's really strange that Marvel was looking at this at all, and taking stuff from it. But I happen to own all of those of the issues that this brought up, so I thought I would show them real quick. So Captain America 237, because I'm not a giant Captain America guy, but I have a huge Captain America collection because I bought out I used to buy out collections and sell what I didn't want and keep the rest. And when I first started doing that, I got like 200 issues of like 70s and 80s Captain America that my wife insisted I keep because she likes Captain America. Now, she's not read one of them, but she wanted me to hang on to them. So I did, and over the years I've gap-filled some. When I would find collections, I would just go, I guess I'm keeping all the Captain America because I have the Captain America collection. So I probably have 450 issues of Captain America. I've never read hardly any of them, but I have them, and this kind of had me wanting to maybe go through some of these finally, just because some of these covers are fun. So, not the movie, but looking at these comics. So, 237, so this would all be, like, early to mid-70s stuff. This is actually 79, so this would have been, like, immediately after. But this is where he establishes himself as a commercial artist. And that has me really wanting to know, was the art thing in his character at all before that? 259 is where he gets a custom motorcycle with an American flag motif, and then I think in this it doesn't have that motif, and so that might be a little bit of a stretch. It's just, well, he gets a custom motorcycle, but like making a big deal out of Captain America has his own motorcycle because he's not really like a motorcycle guy.
Does he also have the shield in the front?
Let me pop it open because it's not on the cover.
Because the MCU does do that.
No, because this is just Captain America versus Doc Ock, which is a cool
Oh,
cover.
okay.
But I'll flip through this real quick, and we'll see. Oh, this has an ad for the old Superman Spider-Man.
Oh.
Oh, the Captain America found Nazis. He found like
Captain America fighting Nazis? What?
no, I know, but he found like American white supremacist Nazis with a flag with a swastika like just in their barn or something.
Oh.
It's weird.
Oh.
No, I know. I'm not explaining what I'm looking at. Oh yeah, he just gets it right at the. Oh no, it does have kind of an American. It's got a star on the side of it. Yeah, it doesn't have the shield in front of it at the start. It just has a light. So I mean, maybe he puts it on it later, but it doesn't look like he's going to.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That may be a stretch. I think you could get that without this.
Yeah, I mean, probably. But obviously, like, this is the big thing that these movies have.
But this one strikes me as a little bit less disputable. So this one is 318, and this is a Captain America Black Panther issue, and T'Challa gives him some gives him a special van with a way to launch his motorcycle out the back of it.
And then T'Challa's like, "Oh no, Steve, Bracket is invading Wakanda."
And Steve's like, "Well, he's after something."
Yeah, he's no Mad Dog Invader.
He's no Mad Dog Invader. And T'Challa's like, "What are you talking about? He's invading." It's like, yeah, but he's not Mad Dog about it. That's
Yeah, no, he's definitely he's got something in mind.
Oh yes, Makura, neo-Nazis. That's the correct way to refer to those people. Teddy put in another $10 super chat. I really appreciated you tonight, man. He says, "Compromise. I will buy the DVD, show you an image of it on the Discord, but here's what you need to do. You will put my name." Oh, he's telling me what I'll do. Okay. "You will put my name on a piece of paper, then frame it and never talk about it on stream. It's just fair."
I think that's a good deal. I'm not gonna lie. I would take that.
Yeah, I wonder if that shouldn't be like a high Patreon perk, or like if you put in a like a big enough super chat, we just put your name in a frame. Like behind me.
Yeah, I'd take that deal.
That would be. I wonder what I would want to do to rig up something like that. That would be a really funny thing to do. Where like you could just put it on the in text on the live stream, but no, I'm going to physically make a gigantic sign with people's names in it.
Well, and it can't just be Teddy. It has to be Teddy, 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 Teddy.
You gotta say his name, but he says no perk, just me. I don't know how badly I need you to go buy this movie, Teddy.
I'll do it. I'll put you right there, right next to Godzilla and Man-Thing.
Oh my god, Teddy, thanks, man. I appreciate your sense of humor and the super chats. Thanks a lot, man. Hey, Austin, let's go ahead and go to mini reviews now. And I just have one on Patreon. I think I expect one. Very many people would have actually seen this.
No, I expected none.
I expected zero, yeah. Well, I'll go and read mine then. Daniel Davis, pretty much exactly what you'd expect if you try to do Captain America as a lower-budgeted 70s CBS-style TV movie of the week. Interesting only as a historical document of where Marvel was then. Otherwise, it's mostly a snore, a very loose adaptation of the comic. I think that's even charitable. With a performance from Reb Brown whose energy appears to be perpetually low throughout. Nemesis! What do you have for a mini review?
From Avik Stark, he says, "From what I have seen," which I fully admit is not the full movie, this is one of the most lethargic things put out. especially for an actor known for screaming his head off and fighting bad guys. Rating villain.
I like lethargic. I agree with that.
Yeah. That should have been the villain of an episode, Lethargio. It's a great name for a comic villain.
So one of my favorite things now, just about this stream, is that we got 2 mini reviews, and one of them, the guy didn't even watch the whole movie. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I wonder if he's maybe seen. I know Spoonie reviewed these back in the day. I wonder if maybe he's seen those or what.
Makira, I just finished it with you guys 10 minutes ago. Couldn't leave a review.
You could do it right this second. We're still on.
I will fully admit that if we had done this as a blind stream, and obviously I don't like rate when we do that, but if we had just talked over this, I probably would have enjoyed it more. Because, like you said, it's just not a thing to sit and put on and watch by yourself. Like, this is one of those movies where if you're not riffing,
no, that's part of it for me. Like, I could see myself going back to this, or probably more likely just double featuring them with friends and kind of riffing over it.
Yeah.
But that's probably the only way I would ever go back to these, or this specifically.
Me too. Well, and I guess this is kind of weird because I simultaneously find this like extremely boring and a terrible slog, but I could riff it though. So like it could be fun in that way. That's not gonna like up my rating or anything. But there's more fun to be had with this than some other things we've done. Even some things that I would say are better than this movie. Where like I wouldn't really want to have to watch it again. I wouldn't even get that much fun out of riffing over it, but like there's more merit to it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. No, that makes sense to me.
Well, Austin, go ahead and give us your rating.
So, okay. Because I do feel like I've kind of talked myself into a different rating. So I was more as a light villain, and I think, or like a high villain, I think I'm actually going to go bottom hero. Just because, like I said, I would go back to this. I did enjoy myself talking and like riffing over it. I also wasn't as bored as you were watching it on my own. Like I was never really bored. Like I was definitely like, okay, this is like long and nothing's happening, but I was kind of laughing at stuff throughout. So I don't fully have that, but I also fully get it at the same time. So it's like right on that edge. It's just kind of, I'll say villain if I'm on my own, hero if I'm with people.
Okay.
If I can break it off in a way.
Yeah, fair enough. This was a thing that in almost no way justifies its own existence for me.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why we have this. I don't know why I have to watch this. Nobody involved seemed interested in making it. There are some accidentally enjoyable things. Like it's almost an anti-entertainment. In that it's like we put cameras on things and we were kind of forced to be here and make something. Like you said, to be fair to it, if you took that initial skeleton of an idea and you actually had just some passion for your craft, you could make something that is wholly not really Comic Book Captain America, but still valuable, so like story wise, still worth looking at. There's some really goofy lines that are like it's a little quotable, and so like with that because of that stuff, it's a little bit more memorable than I thought it was going to be when I watched it yesterday. Because I was like, oh boy, I'm going to forget this in like 5 seconds. But like the more we've talked about it, there are some lines that have jumped out at me. But like I don't know, if a few amusingly badly written lines don't really jack up a rating for me. So like it's still a nemesis. It's absolutely a nemesis.
At the end of the day, you can't jack it up because trucks pull out.
This isn't the most offensive thing we've reviewed. In some ways, it's probably, for me, the worst thing we've reviewed.
That's a big part of it for me, honestly. Is like I said, there's some like old timey charm for me with this, where I like in no way do I find this like offensively bad. It's kind of like this is weird. I don't know why we did this, but like
Yeah.
it's kind of different. I don't know.
I'm also finding myself comparing it to all the other TV Marvel stuff at the time, and it's at the absolute bottom of that stuff.
Yeah, and I've only seen Hulk, and like, yeah, 100%. This is way worse than Hulk.
Yeah. Uh, no, there's a lot of good things about that show, but
Yeah,
like it's worse than the Doctor Strange pilot. It's worse than the Spider-Man show. Like it's definitely bottom of the barrel of all of that stuff.
yeah, for sure.
And I also had a hard time, and this isn't fair or anything, but I also had a hard time not comparing it to Linda Carter Wonder Woman, which weirdly is a better adaptation of Captain America than this is.
That's beautiful.
Because its pilot has her in the 40s. Like, has her in World War II.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually quite
Yeah, I
good.
didn't know that.
But anyway.
Yeah, at some point I should watch that show.
I mean, it's you know, also cheesy and campy in its way. But
Well, yeah, no, of course.
and I've never seen all. I've seen
I've
the
heard the
pilot
theme.
and maybe a couple, right? And maybe a couple of episodes. I own all of it, and I've had it for years, but I've never sat down and watched through it,
Yeah.
which I probably should do. At least watch a few. Well, we go now to our
Well, and also
rankings.
Teddy gave a review. He
Oh,
says,
okay.
my review, I haven't seen it, but if in a roundabout way it makes Cap commit to have a framed piece of paper with my full YouTube name on his wall, it can't be all bad. A plus plus plus.
Now look, I have not committed to this. Okay, I have not one time said I'm doing that. Teddy put in another $10 super chat. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. And then we're gonna go to his ratings. Says last donation. I'm gonna be fair. I'm a gentle giant. Oh my god, you can make it a Patreon perk, but every name has to be tiny except mine, which is always huge and in the middle. Think John Hancock on the Declaration of Independence. My god.
Well, if there's anything I've always thought about Teddy from the moment I've been doing this, it's that he is the John Hancock of Geekvolution viewers, so that I can agree with.
You mean he's a drunk superhero that's like weirdly a god?
And signed the Declaration of Independence.
Oh,
yeah.
that too. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Sorry,
he's writing his name in the snow.
I was confusing my John Hancocks.
Oh. Oh, you were thinking of Hancock. Okay.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he's also a John Hancock.
I didn't even remember that his name was John. Okay.
Yeah, they call him John. He's John Hancock.
Oh.
Because they didn't know what his name was when he was taken to the hospital and he seemed to have amnesia, and then they just wrote him John Hancock.
Oh, okay.
If memory serves, that's what that thing was.
I do not remember this movie.
I mean,
apparently.
That's totally fair. Yeah, I mean, you'd think it'd be John Doe, but that doesn't make for as good of a superhero name. They'd just be Doe. He's just flying around. I'm Doe!
I'm Doe. That sucks. Do they do it with just every, person who signed that declaration?
I'm sorry, say again?
Do they do that with everybody that signed the Declaration of Independence? Like, this person has no name. George Washington.
Yes. Okay. I need this video to not be 2.5 hours long, okay? Let's get to our ratings, please. And
Yes.
I like I said, I think this is kind of the worst thing that we've reviewed, so I have it really, really low. It's more boring than some other things that are also really awful, and so I found myself putting it under things like Supergirl and Masters of the Universe, and even Madam Web, which like has just some like baffling fun that puts it a little higher even though it's awful. So I've got it second to last right now. I've got it right above Jumper. I couldn't quite put it under Jumper. I couldn't bring myself to
No,
do that.
nothing should ever be put under Jumper.
It's the worst. It's so bad.
It's so bad. I mean, there are worse superhero movies than Jumper. Go watch our top 50 worst superhero films list, but Jumper is definitely near the bottom.
So Robert's giving me some mixed signals here. Because he put in a comment and he said, I've lost a bit of respect for Cap over this. How much more money will he squeeze out of Teddy? And then he puts in a $2 super chat and says, I stand with Teddy, honor the deal, Cap. And I just, the worst part really is the hypocrisy.
It's the hypocrisy, yeah. Well, that could be one of the names, John Hypocrisy, over Teddy's name.
I feel like we've got this weird revolt happening. This is one of the
They're leading the
strangest...
communist revolution against it.
It's one of the strangest rewind streams we've ever had. Where I
But it
I
makes
think
sense.
it's odd that we even have people here. Is the first thing.
Yeah, we got a pretty good crowd.
Made more odd is the fact that Austin put this a few notches above Watchmen. So
Yeah.
he and I at least agree on Jumper as the worst thing we've ever had to
100%. Yeah.
have our eyes bleed over watching. But at least he doesn't have it real high. But he put it over Masters. Now I will say I was not sure about whether it should go above or below Masters of the Universe. You did put it one notch above that.
I went back and forth, but it was always over a couple notches and kept changing it until right before we started. It was always above Masters of the Universe.
Okay. I don't know. That's still a little bit more fun for me.
That's fair.
I mean, it's not good, but it's at least got Frank Langella. The thing is, I can't put this over anything with a villain.
This movie is Brackett. He's one of the best villains in cinematic history. I love Brackett.
The only place I'll meet you with that is if Brackett had been the villain for Superman 3, it's slightly better than the villain in Superman 3.
Oh, that movie shoots up. It's the best Superman movie if Brackett is the villain of 3. Replace the villain with Brackett and Richard Pryor with Simon the Scientist Man. Best Superman movie.
That's fantastic. Okay, well, at the beginning of the show, you mentioned the movie we're doing next week, but I have to remind you and everyone else that we're actually not doing the show next week. It'll be actually a little while before we get Rewind back, because we've got 2 weeks of a new Mania, so we're slashing our regular schedule. We're doing this now a couple times a year, where we'll kind of take a break from our regular stuff, and we'll do blind commentaries in a theme for 2 weeks. And this time we're going to do Disney Renaissance Mania, which we're really excited about. So come back and join us on Monday, where we'll be watching The Little Mermaid, and we're going to do animated Disney Renaissance movies. So that means the early 90s through the early 2000s. We're doing 10 movies. We're really excited about that. And then Austin is off the week after that for Easter, so it's going to be 3 weeks before we get back to Rewind commentaries. But never fear, because when we come back, we're going to do something that Austin has been just begging for like a couple of years now. And I didn't have a vote for this one. I just said, you know what? You watched this recently. I watched this recently. Why don't we just go ahead and hit it?
You hate the spider. I hate the spider.
and I had a probably my best watch of this movie that I had last time I saw it, so I was kind of excited to do it with you. So, what movie are we doing next time, Austin?
We're doing Ghost Rider. Have to announce it with a point, because the movie loves pointing.
You know, if I'd thought of it, Mikey was Ghost Rider for Halloween last year, and he's got a flaming skull mask. I wish I'd pulled that out and put it on for the announcement for
and
this.
Then pointed.
That would have been good. And then pointed. Yeah, just put that in like this.
And then you go to hell.
I might put a picture of him in his costume on stream when we do that commentary. Because it was
just
really,
like jump
really
scare, like that weird shot with Blackheart.
Yeah, I'll do that.
That'd be great.
Look, you're gonna have to wait on Meg Ryan Mania. Okay, it's gonna be a while.
It is coming though. Okay.
No, this is one people have been asking for quite a while. Like
Meg
ever
Ryan
since
Mania.
ever since we mentioned the idea of maybe doing something on Disney movies, and we didn't originally pitch it as a Mania. We just talked about it. We were like, oh, maybe we should like do some commentaries on those. We've never really talked about them besides on request. Somebody asked for Beauty and the Beast once, and that's about it. And so we started talking about it as a Mania, and it was just like a lot of support for that idea. So that's why we're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, if people like it, we can always come back and do other eras.
Yeah, well, one idea I had, and it would probably break us and kill us, would be to do a Mania for all of the crappy direct-to-video sequels.
No, that too. I'm like, there's multiple ways you could do it. You could do obviously the classic, the kind of between classic and the Renaissance, that kind of like black period.
Yeah.
The more modern period. You could even really do one on Pixar because they own it. You could do the live action remakes, and you could do direct to DVD sequels.
Yeah, I actually think the live action remakes would maybe even be more painful than the direct to video sequels.
Oh, they would 100% be more painful than the direct to DVD sequels.
Partly because they're longer and because they get progressively worse.
Yeah. If I have to watch the Mulan remake again, I will legitimately kill myself on stream.
You'll see us die on camera and never come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
No, absolutely.
That damn movie.
Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I'm going to be back actually tomorrow with a bonus long stream because John and I are still going through Smallville Season 8. We did the first half last week, and so just quick plug for this because here in about 10 hours I'm going to be back on stream. And then tomorrow we're doing the second half of Season 8. We've got just 2.5 seasons left, and then we're finally finished with our big, long 24-hour marathon streams for Smallville. I'm real excited about finishing that up. So join us for that. We had a lot of fun last week. And in the meantime, we appreciate you. If you'd like to support us on Patreon, patreon.com/geekvolution, the $5 tier lets you put in a mini review for this show, and on the $10 tier, it makes you a producer. Several perks there, including getting your name read at the end of every stream, every Rewind commentary stream anyway, and I'm going to do that right now. You also get to help us pick movies and hang out with us on Discord and some things like that. But I want to thank all of our patrons, but especially our Patreon producers, including Jesse Surtees, Jajira, Justin Hayes, Victor, Super Billy, Elliot Slater, Noah O, Dr. Hello, Stone Gaspin, SS Jerry, Goofster123, Joe Turner, Matthew Brody, Abix Stark, Kareem Roberts, Damon Begay, Adam March, Serial When Pigs Fly, Hot Soup, Michael Martin, Kate Blaze, Alfonso Diaz is a new name I didn't recognize, Captain Kuhn, and Caleb. Thank you guys so much, and thanks for people who have newly joined Patreon, because we've gotten a few of those, and folks that have come back after a hiatus. Appreciate all you guys. Thanks a ton for helping me keep this crazy thing moving in my 17th year now, and you guys helped to keep it viable, so thanks a ton for doing that. Thanks for super chats tonight, especially Teddy. Appreciate you, man. I'm not promising anything with the sign, but I expect to keep getting messages about it. And in the meantime, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I was Captain Logan, and this was Austin the Day Ghost.
Good night, everybody. And remember to not be a mad dog killer this weekend.
Bye, everybody.